Welcome back, guys, to the Andrei Delic Podcast. I'm your host, Andrei Delic. Today, guys, reality check, many different topics, many different segments, football, and just life in general. Let me start off with a quote done by Patrice Evra, one of the greatest left backs of all time. Played for Man United, played for Juventus. The name speaks for itself. Patrice Evra, one of the legends. And he said, I'm quoting him, Guardiola, he killed the game. Now we have robots, we have no creativity, we have no geniuses. You will never see a player like Ronaldinho anymore. This is where I'm like 50-50. Why? First of all, yes, Guardiola's style is very like robotic. It's very system-based, it's very team-based, and it's very tactic-based. Tiki-taka, pass the ball, short passes. Don't go too crazy on the wings. When you have the ball, pass it inside, and then let the midfielders control the ball and move it around. That's very Pep Guardiola. You have space for creativity. Of course, when he was at Barcelona with Lionel Messi, with Andres Iniesta, of course he would let them be very creative because they're very fucking creative players. They're like two of the most creative players of all time, and Lionel Messi is actually the most creative player of all time. So, of course, when he was at Barcelona, of course, Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, they will go crazy with creativity. But the teams after that he managed, implementing his system in a team that they don't have the same players as Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. That's one in a lifetime diamond you're ever going to have in your fucking lifetime. It's not going to happen again. So, of course, when he went to Bayern Munich, of course, there was no Messi, there was no Iniesta, there was no Xavi, there was no Busquets. So, of course, then he wouldn't give them as much freedom on the pitch as he would let Messi have or Iniesta. That's normal. The players aren't as good as those four players. They aren't as creative as those four players. And it's just normal. So, of course, then after when he went to Man City, again, Man City, big stars he had, right? Fucking David Silva, creative genius. Yaya Toure, amazing midfielder. The list goes on and on. Aguero, the list goes on. Like, we all know which are the players that were under Pep Guardiola at Man City. Amazing players, right? But still, the level of creativity that they possess, maybe David Silva is really, really close to Xavi and Iniesta when it comes to creativity, in my opinion. He's really, really close. Highly underrated, if I might add, David Silva with Yaya Toure, of course. But still, David Silva isn't Xavi or Iniesta. He isn't. And when Pep Guardiola came to Man City, David Silva was already past his prime. He wasn't in his peak age anymore. So, of course, when he implemented his system at Man City and Bayern Munich, of course, the players had to abide by it. They didn't have as much as freedom as Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets at Barcelona, which is normal. And, of course, when you looked at them, they looked like robotic players, which they aren't, but the system that Pep Guardiola puts into play can be seen as very robotic, less creativity, less spontaneity, like kicking from fucking 40 yards out like Ronaldo used to do at Man United or at Real Madrid. Of course, his style of play, his football, Pep Guardiola ball, cuts that out, eliminates that factor in the game. Now, at the same time, you cannot say like Guardiola killed the game, which is what he said in the beginning, Patrice. You cannot say like Guardiola killed the game. Why? Guardiola simply brought his system, brought his philosophy, brought his mentality into the game, into the clubs that he's managing. And that's the system he implemented. Now, as a manager, you don't have to follow his lead. You can do your own lead. You can have your own style of play. You can have your own philosophy with your own club and play however you want to fucking play. You don't have to follow Pep Guardiola. Now, of course, if Pep Guardiola ends up winning many matches, then hey, kudos to him. But you can still beat Pep Guardiola, be a better manager than he is, have a better team, better performing team than he has, and still not play tiki-taka. Lucho Enrique right now, currently, his PSG team is the best team on planet Earth. They don't play Pep Guardiola ball. They don't. They play Lucho ball, which is very offensive, very technical, and very risk-taking. They take a lot of risks because they have really good players, and that's what Lucho likes. Just like Lucho Enrique in 2015 Barca, that's Lucho Enrique right now with PSG. The same style of football. Very technical, very offensive, and very counter-attacking, very offensive, like I just said. That's Lucho Enrique's style. And right now, currently, that style is the best style in the world, meaning he has the best team in the world right now, Lucho Enrique, with his PSG team. In 2015, when Lucho Enrique had the same team when he had Barcelona and playing the same style with Messi, Suarez, Neymar up front, Iniesta, Busquets, Rakitic in the middle, and then Jordi Alba, Mascherano, Piqué, and Dani Alves back line, and then goalkeeper he had Ter Stegen, which, if I might add, Ter Stegen in 2015 was taking a lot of risks. He was an even bigger sweeper keeper than Manuel Neuer on the pitch. He took even more risks than Manuel Neuer, and he had bigger balls than Manuel Neuer on the pitch, Ter Stegen. And in 2015, Ter Stegen was phenomenal. The best goalkeeper on planet Earth, he was Ter Stegen in 2015. Now, different story, but in 2015, he was the best goalkeeper on planet Earth. And Luis Enrique didn't care. He let him play his game because he saw how effective that was on the pitch. At the end of the day, attacking football, the best defense is offense in football. The best defense is offense. The more you attack, the more you have possession of the ball, the more chances you have of scoring, and the less chances the other team has of scoring on you. Why? Because they have less possession of the ball, and you're constantly in their half, and you're constantly attacking and creating offensive chances in their own half. So that's why offense is the best defense in soccer, European football. It is what it is. It's a fact of life. It's a fact of the game. So Guardiola didn't kill the game. Now, will we ever see a player like Ronaldinho anymore? No. And the reason why it's no, not because of Guardiola, not because of different style of play in today's game, today's age, not because of different philosophy, not because of the game, simply because there will never, ever, ever be another Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho was perfect. Literally a perfect fucking player. That's who Ronaldinho was. A perfect player. The reason why we'll never see another player like Ronaldinho is perfection should never happen. Never happens. But in this only instance did it happen. And if I might add, he was only perfect on the pitch. Outside the pitch, he wasn't perfect. Partying, alcohol, maybe drugs, I don't know, maybe women, and just going to clubs, not training, not eating properly, not having the right regiment as a professional athlete. But on the pitch, Ronaldinho was perfect, man. And before Ronaldinho, there wasn't another Ronaldinho. And after Ronaldinho, there's never ever going to be another Ronaldinho. Why? That's like a gift from God and a gift from the devil at the same time. Because God showed us the possibility of having a literally perfect player on the pitch. And the devil nerfed him with women, partying, alcohol, nightclubs, and all of that. That's who Ronaldinho was. He's the only player that I dedicated an entire episode to him because he's a perfect player, man. It's so beautiful. He's good at everything, and it is what it is. Next topic. So this is a quote from my idol, my GOAT, my king, my Lord and Savior, Lionel Andres Messi. I'm joking. I'm a big Christian. My Lord and Savior will always be Jesus Christ. Always. But Leo Messi said, I really miss all those moments at Barca. Maybe I enjoy it more now than at the time when things happened. Of course, Messi's career at Barcelona is the greatest career of all time. The most successful career, and it's just the most beautiful career to ever come out of professional football. It's the most beautiful career. It's the best career by far. No one even comes close to Leo Messi's career, especially everything he accomplished with Barcelona. So, of course, he grew up in Barcelona. He arrived at La Masia when he was 13 years old from Argentina. So, of course, like it or not, he is Argentinian, but Barcelona, Catalonia, and Spain has a big place in his heart. Just like, and also FC Barcelona. It's probably the club it's the club he loves the most. It's a club he has the most deeply rooted inside of his heart, which is normal. He also played with PSG. He also played with, now currently with Inter Miami. I never would have thought Messi would have left FC Barcelona. Never, ever did I think that Messi was going to leave FC Barcelona one day. I couldn't, when it happened, I couldn't believe my fucking eyes, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck just happened? That was the biggest shock in the history of football, was when Messi left FC Barcelona. You know how fucked up that was? I couldn't believe that happened. Of course, with everything that fucked up with that fucking stupid ass president who had to sell Messi. Oh my God, who had to let Messi go. That was the biggest thing that happened in Catalonia history. It's the biggest misery that ever happened in Catalonia history. Bigger than the Spanish flu, bigger than whatever ever happened in Catalonia and in Spain. It's crazy to think that, but hey, of course, And then if I go with what he said, of course, when you look back at everything you accomplished, when you look back at beautiful memories, at nice time and dates, of course, you're going to be like nostalgic. When it's actually happening, like you know what's happening. You know it's something beautiful that's happening. You know it's a beautiful feeling. But it's always after, when you look back, you're like, wow, I should have enjoyed more. It was actually really beautiful what was happening. It's always like that. So that's a normal emotion that Messi is feeling. Normal human emotion. When you're currently living in something that's really beautiful, that you're gonna remember for the rest of your life, while you're in it, while it's happening, you don't realize how beautiful it actually is and how much of big value it has to you, to your heart, and to your soul. But later on, years after, when you think about it, when you reminisce about your life and your past events and everything that happened in your past, that's when you realize, wow, that was actually a really beautiful moment. And that's what nostalgia does to you. That's nostalgia. So of course I understand this emotion for Messi, and it is what it is. Next topic. Someone said, no matter how many World Cups or Ballon d'Ors Messi steals, Cristiano Ronaldo will always be the face of football and will always have the streets. His influence is unreal. Sometimes I want to fight these people. I'm like, who the fuck wrote this? What kind of an idiot do you have to be to even think about this? And then to go online, on social media, on Twitter, and say, you know what? Let me fucking write this. Let me tweet this out. I don't fucking understand how that's even possible, but hey, all types of people exist. And now, first of all, no matter how many World Cups or Ballon d'Ors Messi steals, Messi, first of all, I mean, I don't even understand how I have to express myself right now, but let me say it. Messi never ever stole anything in his life. Never ever. Messi got Ballon d'Ors and World Cups stolen from him. Messi right now should have 2 World Cups. The 2014 World Cup, when Messi literally went fucking crazy, when he did everything on the pitch, when he was by far the best player the entire tournament in the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. He was by far the best player on the pitch for the entire tournament. And then in the finals, who stole it from him? His own teammates who played like fucking pure dog shit. Gonzalo Higuain. What the fuck were you doing that final? Higuain, please. What the fuck were you doing that final? What the actual fuck were you doing that final? You missed so many opportunities. You had so many chances. And who's the other guy? Palacio, the guy who had like a ponytail here or something, or was it here? I don't know. Palacio, I think his name was. He also missed so many chances. Agüero played like dog shit. I don't even remember if he played in the final. I'm pretty sure he did. He also played like dog shit. Higuain had so many fucking chances in the 2014 World Cup final. Messi right now, if he didn't have stupid ass teammates in his team in the past, actually, I don't want to blame them. I love the Argentinian national team. I love the players. I love the people. I love Argentina in general. But they played poorly in the finals. Messi right now should have 4 Copa Americas and 2 World Cups. Messi should have 4 Copa Americas and 2 World Cups. I repeated myself so you understand. 2014 World Cup, Messi should have won it if it wasn't for his teammates fucking up in the final. 2015 Copa America final, Messi should have won it if it wasn't again for his teammates fucking up in the final. 2016 Copa America Centenario, I was there live in New Jersey, MetLife Stadium. Messi should have won it if his teammates wouldn't have fucked it up like Gonzalo Higuain. And then he won 2 Copa Americas, thank God, and then 1 World Cup, which was just... The universe came together when Messi won the World Cup. It just had to happen. It had to fucking happen. It's like gravity. It has to happen. It was like the Big Bang coming together and creating the universe. It had to happen. That was the equivalent for the footballing world, Messi winning the World Cup. Imagine if Messi would have retired without a World Cup. Imagine how stupid that would have been. Imagine how incomplete the sport would have been if Messi would have never won a World Cup. Now he literally completed football. Like, yo, broski, no player ever completed football before Messi. And not only did he complete football, he literally was the best player of all time on the pitch. Messi is fucking him, man. Next topic. Leo Messi said recently, I don't know, probably all of you guys saw on Instagram, Messi who posted pictures, a post of him visiting Camp Nou's new stadium. They had a new stadium and he was visiting it. He posted many pictures. He got like 20 million likes in like 1 hour, like 1 day or some shit like that. It went fucking crazy, which is normal. I liked the shit out of that post. I liked it like 3 times just to make sure that I liked it. And he recently said, Leo Messi, I'm quoting him, I really want to go back to Barcelona. We miss Barcelona a lot. The children and my wife miss Barcelona a lot. Broski, if Messi was to go back to European football, in Barcelona, in La Liga, in the Champions League, he would still be the most dominant player on the fucking pitch. Lamine Yamal would shut the fuck up and bow down to Messi. Rafinha would shut the fuck up and bow down to Messi. Pedri, whenever Pedri would get the ball as a midfielder, he would just be looking, where's Messi, where's Messi, where's Messi? Messi, what should I do? Hey, Messi, what should I do? I'm going to do that. The entire team would follow Messi like a fucking god on planet Earth. That's what would happen if Messi was to go back to Barcelona. Especially that the team is filled with young players. They all grew up watching Messi, idolizing Messi, dreaming about Messi. And now if they could play with Messi, oh my God, they would be running, defending, and ready to die on the pitch for Leo Messi, man. Yo, that guy, bro, has so much fucking aura, Leo Messi. Wow, man. He's so beautiful, man, Leo Messi. Wow, man, he's so beautiful. Crazy. And of course, if it was to happen, of course, I understand his wife missing Barcelona a lot. She mostly was living her life most of her years in Barcelona when Messi was playing there. Messi and his wife, they've been together ever since they're like 14 years old. So, of course, she mostly grew up in Barcelona with Lionel, Andres Messi. So, of course, that's normal that they miss Barcelona. The kids are born there. They grew up there also. So, of course, they miss Barcelona. And Barcelona, I mean, it's a really beautiful city. I visited many times. Less winter. Of course, I mean, they're in Miami, so it's different. But, of course, the culture is very different from European culture and American culture. So, I understand them loving European culture more, which is European culture is way more similar to Argentinian culture than American culture, which I understand and I acknowledge also. So I understand them missing Barcelona. But if Messi was to play again with Barcelona, man, wow. They would win Champions League. With Lamine Yamal, with Rafinha, with Leo Messi, who is still the best player on planet Earth. Him coming back to Barcelona. The jerseys would sell so fucking fast. And they would sell so many jerseys. It would be a new world record. Imagine Messi going back, the jersey sales, what they would look like. That would be fucking insane. I would buy, personally, 3 jerseys. Same size, same color, same everything. Just 3, just in case I lose one. Just in case one fucks up. Whatever. I would buy 3 just to make sure that, like, everything's good. That's me personally. The jersey sales will go fucking crazy, man. Okay, and guys, now recently, Sunday, there was the Canadian Premier League final. It was Atletico Ottawa against... Oh, Jesus Christ. What's the other team that they played against, man? How the fuck did I forget the name of the team? CPL. Against Cavalry, which is from Calgary. So Atletico Ottawa played against Cavalry in the CPL. One of the greatest games in football history. First of all, the snowstorm was fucking crazy. There was a huge snowstorm. I was pretty sure that they were going to cancel the game. They didn't. The game went on. Broski, once I was looking at the game, I was looking at the pitch, like the 40th minute. There was so much snow. I was literally talking to myself. I was like, this doesn't make sense to play on a pitch with so much snow. They kept going. I was dying from fucking cold. I was so fucking cold. I couldn't feel my feet. I couldn't feel my fucking fingers. I couldn't feel my face anymore. But hey, I was already there. Fuck it, I'm going to watch the game. Shout out Kevin Dos Santos. My brother, thanks for the tickets again. I appreciate it. Played an amazing game. The entire team played an amazing game. Then Atletico Ottawa scored a fucking crazy bicycle kick from number 7. I think his name is David Rodriguez, or is it Daniel Rodriguez? I think it's David Rodriguez. He scored the 2 goals. Atletico Ottawa won 2-1 against Cavalry. He scored 2 amazing goals. His bicycle kick brought so much exposure to that game and to that league that even iShowSpeed reacted to it. All of these the biggest football pages on the internet, on social media, they all posted about that goal, saying how it's a crazy goal. They all posted that goal from David Rodriguez, the bicycle kick, brought so much exposure to the CPL and to Atletico Ottawa. That was the greatest exposure that the CPL or Atletico Ottawa ever got. Crazy exposure. The entire team played really well. Daniel Rodriguez, man of the match, normal. He scored both goals. The second goal, amazing pass. That pass from number 10. What's his name? Number 10. I forgot his name, but number 10, your pass to Daniel Rodriguez was insane. Is it David Rodriguez or is it Daniel Rodriguez? Not sure, man. Fuck. Stats. Let's call him D Rodriguez because it's either Daniel or David. So that second goal from Daniel Rodriguez, amazing. He chipped the goalkeeper one touch, but the pass from number 10, insane, bro. Insane pass. I watched it live. I watched it like I was here and I saw you make the pass. I was like, yo, that's an insane pass, insane vision. Crazy game. The snowstorm, it going to extra time, scoring the second goal, the winning goal in the extra time. Just everything in general, that game was insane, man. Congratulations again to you, my brother, Kevin Dos Santos. Congratulations to Atletico Ottawa. And congratulations to the CPL for getting that much exposure from that goal from Daniel Rodriguez or David Rodriguez, I'm not sure. But that was a crazy game, man. And fuck, that brought a lot of exposure. Like when I saw iShowSpeed reacting to it, I was like, yo, this is actually crazy. When I saw all these big Instagram pages that I follow regarding football, like Sport Bible, Goal, and all these like big pages who most of the time only post about European football, the top 5 leagues, they actually posted that goal in their page. That was actually crazy, brought a lot of exposure. But again, guys, shout out to you. Congratulations. That game was insane, man. And also, guys, today it being 11th of November, I want to pay my respects to all the veterans and all the soldiers currently in service. Remembrance Day, we all have to remember the biggest sacrifice that the past soldiers made, that our veterans made. Many of them did the ultimate sacrifice of laying their life on the ground so that we have freedom, so that we can argue amongst each other, so that we can live in peace, so that we can have a belly filled with food, so that we can live under a beautiful democratic country. It's all thanks to the soldiers and to the veterans who did the biggest sacrifice that a human being can do, going to war and dying on the field so that our future generations, me included, you included, all of us, so that we can live in peace and harmony in a place where democracy prospers, where liberty of expression is very valued, where the pursuit of happiness exists, where we all have the freedom to do what we want as long as we don't infringe on other people's rights and liberties. As long as we don't do anything illegal, we're allowed to do whatever we want as long as it's not against the law. But it's all thanks to the veterans and to the soldiers who did the ultimate sacrifice of laying their life on the field, on the battlefield, so that we can live in peace. I just want to make a little salute, maybe just talk about it briefly, the history. I know Remembrance Day started off with the end of World War I. They signed like the peace treaty after World War I, 1918, 11th of November. That's why Remembrance Day is the 11th of November. That's when First World War stopped, 1918. And ever since that, we pay respects to our veterans, to our soldiers. Thanks for everything, guys. Okay, in life, you have to learn how to take a break and not give up. I can speak from personal experience. Recently, with my podcast, I went 1 week without posting clips. Why? Broski, my mind was going insane. Doing clips for people who don't create content or who never created content. Creating clips may look like it's really simple and really easy. Believe me, if you don't want to believe me, ask anyone that you know personally that creates content, podcasts, vlogs, whatever. It's really fucking hard to create clips and to be consistent. My mind was going crazy. I was like, broski, I can't create clips anymore. I have to take a break So I took 1 week off from posting and creating clips because my mind was fucking going crazy. I needed a break. So that's why at the end of the day, I didn't give up. I would never give up, but I learned how to take a break. So same goes with the gym. There was many times when I always try to go to the gym 6 times a week. That's like my ideal goal. And most of the time I do it. But sometimes after like, let's say 9 months of going 6 times a week, every single week, I'm just like, yo, I can't do this anymore. I have to take a break. And that's when I take like 1 week or 2 weeks off from going to the gym. I just don't give a fuck. My diet, I don't give a fuck. I eat whatever I want and I just don't train at all. Why? Because I need a break. My mind is going crazy. It's too much. So I need a break. But I don't give up. After that 1 week or 2 weeks where I'm like, okay, I feel good now. I'm well rested. My mind is well rested as much as my body. Now I feel like I want to go back to the gym and I'm ready to go back to the gym. So you need to learn how to take breaks and not give up. That's really, really important. I feel like sometimes people, when they burn out, I think that's the official term, when you burn out, they just give up. But sometimes you can simply take a break, you can let life happen and just take a break and then come back when you feel like you're well rested and you have the proper energy to start back again with the proper mindset, the proper energy, and the proper goals and the proper hunger to keep going. But that's the main point. Whatever you want in life, it's okay to take breaks. It's even recommended and it's even normal. But the main point is don't ever give up, because if you give up, you've lost. No matter what it is, if you give up, you lost. Now, never giving up won't ensure success. It won't. But giving up will 100% ensure failure. If you give up, there's 0% chances of you succeeding in a certain field or in a certain domain. But if you never give up, there's no certainty or guarantee that you will succeed in that field, but at least there's a little chance of it happening. So the only way you can have a little chance of succeeding, of breaking through in something that you're trying to accomplish or trying to do, is if you never give up. If you give up, there's 100% chances of you not succeeding or of you not accomplishing your dreams or reaching your goals. So that's why in life, it's really, really fucking important to learn how and to know when to take breaks. There's a difference between taking a break because you're burning out and taking a break because you're just simply lazy. There's a difference between those two. If you want to say, oh, I'm going to take three months off from the gym because I need a break, but it's actually you being lazy, that's different. But if your body and your mind actually needs a break because you feel like you're going to burn out, and then taking 1 or 2 weeks off from the gym or just whatever, from work or from your personal hustle, from your side hustle, whatever, that's different. But you need to learn how to take a break and not give up. Come back stronger, come back with an even stronger mindset, with an even clearer mind and with even more energy, and then attack life and attack your goals even harder and even more. And whenever you make a mistake or whenever you fail, don't dwell on it. Of course, I mean, it even happens to me, it happens to everyone. That's normal. When you make a mistake, when you take an L, when you face failure, it's really easy to dwell on it, and then just simply put yourself in a little ball in the corner of your room and start crying. It's really easy for that to happen. When you meet with failure or when you take an L, of course, it's easy to dwell on the past. But the goal is to have short-term memory when it comes to failure. It has to be like Winston Churchill said, success comes from consistency, going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. That's what success is, going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. But if you don't have short-term memory, if you go from loss to loss, you're going to lose enthusiasm. You're going to lose the motivation and the love and the will to succeed. Why? Because you're constantly going to be thinking about, oh, fuck, I just had this loss. I'm not good enough. I don't feel good. Someone else would have done better. I'm not good enough. I'm not made for this. I'm not talented. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. So if you have that mentality, your progress and your process is going to be way slower than someone who, when he fails, he's like, okay, I don't give a fuck. It happened. I'm not going to take it personally. It's a normal aspect of life. What can I learn from this? And once you've learned what you can learn from that specific event, then you learn from it and then you move on to the next one with the same level of aspiration and with the same level of enthusiasm to succeed as you had before facing those failures or taking those L's. That's how success is done. That's how I see it. And that's how all these other men who succeeded a lot, that's how they succeeded. Is when you go from failure to failure, they see it as an opportunity to grow, because only with failure and with loss can you grow. When you win, you cannot grow. Only when you lose something or when you fail at something, only then can you reflect on it and then actually learn something from it and then grow as a human being. Become more competent, become better at what you're doing, and just become more developed in that certain domain that you're looking to succeed in, and that you cross through many failures, which will make you a better person and a more competent individual in that specific domain. That's the way of success. So going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. No matter what happens, learn from it, brush it off, forget about it, and on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one, and on to the next one. Just like with selling cars, I started selling cars. Whenever you have a client, you try to close him, doesn't happen. I don't know, the client didn't like you, he didn't like the car, you didn't find a way to close him. You can dwell on it. Oh my God, fuck, why didn't I close him? I'm not a good salesman. I feel bad. I'm not made for this. I'm not talented. I'm not this, that, whatever. Or you can simply say, where did I fuck up? Let me rethink of our entire meeting, everything from the test drive, showing the car facts, talking about prices, negotiating. Where did I fuck up? And now I'm talking about selling cars. I'm taking that as an example because that's what I do right now. I sell cars. So that's a perfect example. And if we're being honest, something I learned from the biggest car salesman, the best car salesman, when someone goes into a dealership, he's not looking for a specific car most of the time. Some people, they want a specific car with that mileage. They want an F-150 with this package, that package. If you have it in stock, perfect, he's going to buy it. Simple as that. But most people, especially when they come for used cars, they don't really give a fuck if it's a Honda, if it's a Toyota, if it's an Audi, if it's a Mitsubishi. They don't really care that much. What they're looking for subconsciously is for a salesman who will know how to close them. People who go into dealerships, especially used car dealerships, who are looking for a car, subconsciously they're looking for someone who's going to be good enough to close him, to make him worry less, who will be able to put all of his worries to the side and make him find the best car that he needs for his needs and for his personal self. That's what a good car salesman is. So whenever you face failure, don't dwell on it. Just think about the past. Where did I fuck up? Was it in the test drive? Did I negotiate badly? Was the Carfax not clean? Did whatever happen? What happened that didn't make you close them? Sometimes it's out of your control. If you have a client and is looking for a specific car and you simply don't have that car and he only wants that car, he only wants an F-150 Lightning below 50,000 kilometers between the year of 2023 and 2025, and he only wants that. If you don't have it in stock, you could be fucking Andy Elliott, you could be Jordan fucking Belfort, you're not gonna close him. Why? Because you don't have the fucking car. Of course, there's a need for the car. He needs that specific car. But the only difference is even if you have that car, especially everything that he's looking for, but let's say another dealership has the same car, then it's a question of who's the better salesman, who's gonna close him, who's better at closing, you or the other guy. And that's a fact of life. But my point is, whenever you have failure, don't dwell on the past, learn from it and move on. Okay, so guys, recently I have many friends who are on Hinge, dating apps, and when you're on Hinge, you text many girls, right? You match with girls and then you're gonna text with them. You're not only gonna match with one girl, you're gonna match with many girls. And then recently, not only from dating apps, but from just life in general, I hear many times my friends who are men, and just men in general, complaining about women who have unrealistic goals and unrealistic expectations for a boyfriend. They get all offended, like, she has unrealistic expectations. Who does she think she is? Blah, blah, blah. But I don't understand why you guys get offended. I don't give a fuck. If I see a girl, now I don't want to be mean. If I see a girl who looks like a fucking whale, who's fucking ugly, but in her mind, she wants Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm not going to get angry. I'm just going to find that funny. I don't understand why men get angry for a girl who wants way above what she deserves and who has unrealistic expectations. I just find that funny because I'm like, okay, sure, you want him, go get him, right? Just because she wants DiCaprio doesn't mean she's gonna get Leonardo DiCaprio. I want Megan Fox. Doesn't mean I'm gonna get Megan Fox. That's not how it fucking works. The question is, can you get her? Can she get him? Of course, at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. Reality is reality. Women, nowadays, I understand with social media, they can maybe have like more unrealistic goals than other women who are more down to earth. But even those girls, you shouldn't give a fuck. Like, and of course, if she is really fucking hot, if she is a fucking 12 out of 10 smoke bomb, then like I can understand why she would want Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt or whoever. I can understand that. But even then, I'll be like, there's a difference between wanting something and literally getting it. There's a difference. But my point is, why do men get offended? Why do you guys get offended? Who gives a fuck? If she says, oh, you know what? I need a man who's 6 foot tall, who makes millions of dollars per year, who's good looking, who's smart, who's strong, who's this, who's that. Sure, perfect. Everyone wants that. Every guy wants Megan Fox, right? Megan Fox, Margot Robbie, all these fucking sex bombs. Every man wants them, right? Are we gonna get her? Who's gonna get her? That's only a question of who's gonna get her. Can you get her? Who knows? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Like I said, there's a difference between wanting something and actually getting something and actually deserving something. I want to be the best player on planet Earth for football, for European soccer. I want it. Is it gonna happen? It's not gonna happen. Why? Because it's not gonna fucking happen. I don't give a fuck. It's not gonna happen. I want fucking to be Lionel Messi. It's never gonna happen. I don't care what I want. The question is, what is reality? What is the truth? So that's why I'm speaking from experience, from what I saw. When I see my friends get all offended, oh, this girl has unrealistic expectations. She wants this, and that. You shouldn't give a fuck. You should just laugh and say, oh, well, I wish you find him. And if she doesn't deserve a guy like that, and when I mean that, if it's a fucking whale, if it's a fucking ugly girl and she's fat, then there's basically 0 to 0% chances of her getting him. So she can want a guy like that all she wants. But the question is she gonna get him? Same goes the other way around. A guy can also have unrealistic expectations. Okay, he's allowed, but can he get her? If he can, hey, good for you, man. You did it. And same goes for the woman. If a woman wants a guy like this and she has unrealistic expectations and she ends up getting him, good for her. Fucking good for you. You live your life. But the chance of it happening, if you're unrealistic, are lower. Why? Because that's just the reality of things. That's just fucking life. Like I said, I want Megan Fox. Is it gonna happen? Probably not. If it happens somehow, Jesus Christ, I'm going to be walking the streets of Gatineau like a fucking king. But it's probably not going to happen. So if I was to reject all women who I'm talking with and who show interest in me, just because I'm like, you know what, you guys don't deserve me, I want Megan Fox. Well, then at the end of the day, the woman I rejected who showed interest in me, they didn't lose anything. I lost because I lost an opportunity to be with them, because I had unrealistic expectations of being with Megan Fox. So I'm the only one who's losing time and who's losing opportunities. They didn't lose anything. Same goes for the woman. If you're a guy and you're showing interest in a girl, in a woman, and she rejects you because in her mind, you're not good enough and she deserves better, in her mind, just because she thinks that doesn't mean that's the reality and that's the truth. In her mind, she deserves better. Well, you just move on. You find another girl who won't have unrealistic expectations and who's down to be with you. But she's the girl who rejected you, she's the only one who's going to be wasting time and opportunities because she's going to have these unrealistic expectations of what she actually deserves. She's going to be waiting for that guy. That guy is never going to approach her, or even if he approaches her, it's only going to be for a one night stand because he's going to be like, yo, I'm not going to be with that fat bitch. I'm not going to be with that fat woman. So I don't give a fuck. I'm maybe going to sleep with her one night. I don't give a fuck. Then I'm going to move on. So she's the only one. So only people who have unrealistic expectations, man or woman, they're the only ones who are going to waste time and waste opportunities. So that's why you have to be like, to know like where you're situated and where you're situated in the market, like the relationship market, or I don't know what's the specific term, but the market, I think you guys understand what I mean. So you have to be realistic for guys or for women. But at the end of the day, if you're a guy and you get offended when a woman who clearly doesn't deserve what she wants, like, I don't have to be more specific than what I say, but a fat woman, let's say, obese, she can have unrealistic expectations. It's unrealistic. Reality remains reality. The truth remains the truth. So guys, I don't know why you guys get all offended about it. Okay, so guys, talking about relationships and just talking about sexual relationships in general, I always had the same opinion regarding this. Men and women don't cheat for the same reasons. It's a fact. In my opinion, they don't cheat for the same reasons. A man can have sex with many different women, be in a relationship, and still love his woman to death. Be head over heels in love with his wife and with his girlfriend. But he can still cheat on her physically because we don't see sex the same way, in my opinion. For a guy, it's more about physical pleasure when it comes to sex. For a woman, it's way deeper than that. It's more of an emotional connection, and then also there's the physical pleasure. But in general, not all women, not all men. I know many men who they always tell me, Andrei, I could never do a one-night stand. Because for me to have sex with a woman, there has to be some sort of emotional level, some sort of emotional attachment and emotional knowledge between us two. I understand that. But most men that I know, the globality of men can have one-night stands and they can simply have sex just for the physical pleasure. But I still do know a number of men who cannot do one-night stands because they have to have some sort of emotionality, some sort of connection with the other person. So I understand that point. And same goes for women. I know that for the majority of women that I know, vast majority of women I know, for them to have sex with a man, there has to be some sort of connection with the other man, some sort of emotional connection with the other man. But there are some women who it's only for physical pleasure. There are some women, but I feel like it's a really big minority, and that the majority of women, it's more, they have to have some sort of physical connection with the other man. That's how I see it. So when a man cheats physically, it's not, in my opinion, it's not really considered cheating, if I'm being honest. If a man is married to his wife and he simply goes to sleep with another woman and he doesn't give a fuck about her, he doesn't pay any attention to her, he doesn't show her attention, he doesn't show her any affection, that for me isn't cheating. Maybe I'm going to change my opinion, but right now, that for me is not cheating. If a man has a woman, a wife, a girlfriend of 20 years, how many years, and he simply goes to have sex with another woman, but he doesn't pay any attention to her, he doesn't give her any attention, he doesn't give her any affection, he doesn't give her any false promises, he doesn't show any emotions towards that woman, for me, that isn't cheating. Same goes for if that same guy who's married for 20 years, that same guy who has a wife, who has a girlfriend, and he goes to see a sex worker simply for sex, simply for physical pleasure, for me, that isn't cheating. But if a woman who has a boyfriend or who has a husband goes to see another guy and sleeps with that guy, has sex with that guy, for me, that's cheating. I understand double standards. I understand, guys. But since men and women in general don't see sex the same way, that's why I see it that way. Now, maybe one day I'm going to change my opinion, but for now, that's how I see it from personal experience and just from how I see life and how I see female and male relationships. That's how I see it. Okay, guys, so recently, for people who know about this, Sydney Sweeney has gone viral. She did an interview with a reporter where that reporter asked Sydney Sweeney, and I'm quoting that reporter. She said, "White people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. I want to give you the opportunity to speak about that." Sydney Sweeney looked at her face, looked at the reporter, and simply said, "If there is an issue I want to speak about, people will hear about it." Thank you, Sydney Sweeney. The campaign, the ad that Sydney Sweeney did with American Eagle, there's nothing racist there. She simply said, "I have good genes." Going with genes, human physical genes, and with the streetwear jeans that we wear. It's a wordplay between both. It's a wordplay between both. There's nothing racist there. Like, Let's all chill out. It's nothing about her being white and because she's white, she's genetically superior. It has nothing to do with that. It's just simply Sydney Sweeney being a bombshell, being fucking hot, being hot as fuck, and then her doing a campaign for jeans, for American Eagle jeans, where they have a wordplay of Sydney Sweeney has good genes. It has nothing to do with her being white. It has nothing to do with her being blue-eyed, blonde-haired, white. It has simply everything to do with her being hot as fuck and doing a campaign ad for American Eagle jeans. Wordplay, her being hot as fuck, that's it. It has nothing to do with her being white and the white race, whatever. Completely nothing. I'm happy that she stood her ground, that she didn't say, oh my God, let me say sorry for something that I shouldn't say sorry for, but simply so the woke mob, the woke people feel good about it. She said, I don't want to talk about it. If there's ever an issue that I want to address, I will address it. You will hear from me. Sydney Sweeney, thank you for not bowing down to the woke mob and to this woke, stupid woke reporter. Thank you. Okay, guys, so recently, New York City elected a new mayor, Zohran Mamdani. He won. He's going to take power. He's going to take position of mayor the 1st of January, 2026. And when he won, he had a speech. Of course, during his victory speech, he said, tonight we have spoken in a clear voice. Hope is alive. He then went on to say, Donald Trump, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. The reason why he addressed Donald Trump is because a reporter once asked Donald Trump, the reporter said to Donald Trump, Zohran Mamdani said that if he's in power and if there's ICE agents coming to New York City to seize illegal immigrants, well, Zohran Mamdani is not gonna let that happen. And then Donald Trump simply replied, well, then we're gonna have to arrest him also. That's why Zohran Mamdani felt the need to say to Trump, Donald Trump, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. Now, for people who don't know about this, Zohran Mamdani has no power over ICE agents. The President of the United States has way more authority and way more power than New York City mayor. So if he sends ICE agents, Zohran Mamdani cannot do anything. He's not going to do anything. He just simply said it, but he's not going to do anything. I know Zohran Mamdani, they say he's a communist. He's not really a communist. He's just like he's a leftist. He's a socialist democratic. That's not communism. Let's all chill out. That's not communism. Now, the things he said, of course, like all politicians, they all lie and they all have to lie, because if they don't lie, no one's going to vote for them. If you have a politician who has a campaign and you hear him say, you know what, there's nothing I can do about the economy. There's nothing I can do about immigration. There's nothing I can change in your life. There's nothing I can do. Please vote for me. Who's going to vote for him? No one's going to vote for him. So politicians, I understand that lying isn't good, but I understand them at the same time, because if they don't lie, they're not going to get elected. At the end of the day, they want to get elected. They want to be in power, so they have to lie. It's just like a lawyer. If you kill someone and then you go to see 5 lawyers, and you go to see 2 lawyers, let's say 2 lawyers. You kill someone, you're facing jail time, and then you need a lawyer. You're going to see 2 lawyers. One of those 2 lawyers is being honest, and he's telling you the truth. He's saying, you know what? They have 4K footage of you killing the guy. You're 100% going to jail. There's nothing I can do. I'm sorry. Even though I'm one of the greatest lawyers on planet Earth, they have footage of you killing a guy. You're going to jail. There's nothing I can do. And the other lawyer, who has the same reputation as this lawyer, he says to you, you know what? Don't worry. They have 4K footage. I'm getting you off. You're not going to jail. Don't worry. You're not going to go to jail. This guy was being honest. This guy was lying. Who are you going to go with? You're going to go with the lawyer who lied because he showed you hope. He promised you hope. And the reason he lied is because he knows if he doesn't lie, if he tells you the truth in this certain circumstance, in this scenario, you're not going to go with him and he's not going to make money. At the end of the day, he's going to think about his pockets, about his career, and he's going to say, I need this money. I need this client. I have to lie quote unquote, I have to lie, white lies. I have to do it so that he chooses me. Because if I tell the truth, he's going to say, fuck that lawyer. He doesn't give me any hope. Fuck him. I'm going to go see a lawyer who's going to tell me, who's going to lie to my face and say, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. So that's why politicians, they have like this need, they have to lie, like quote unquote lie, they have to do it, because if they don't, no one's going to vote for him. So of course, he's been talking about free groceries, free bus rides, whatever. That's not going to happen. I mean, Jesus Christ, this isn't a communist country. New York is in America, which is a capitalistic country. We're never going to have free anything. Nothing's free in a capitalistic country. Nothing's free. Now, also on social media, so now I want to be fair, right? Zoran Mamdani, who is a Muslim, he was born in Uganda. He was raised in Uganda. He came to America. He became an American citizen in 2018. So I want to be fair. He's Muslim, yes. But I see many people on social media, mostly conservatives, talking about, oh, now it's over. We have a Muslim who's going to be a mayor. He's going to bring in the Sharia law. New York is going to become like a Muslim city. To be fair, throughout his entire campaign, not once did Zoran Mamdani talk about bringing the Sharia law or bringing Muslim values into the American culture. Not once did he talk about it. So even though he's a Muslim, even though he was born in Africa, in Uganda, yes, I understand that, but he never spoke about it. So you can't go against Zoran Mamdani regarding him wanting to bring the Sharia law, wanting to bring Islamic values to North America, to New York City. You cannot go against him regarding that, because he never spoke about it. Throughout his entire campaign, he simply talked about how the poor are getting way too taxed. We have to tax more rich people. We have to make rent more affordable for the average New Yorker. We have to bring groceries down. We have to make public transport more affordable for all New Yorkers. That's the only thing he talked about. Not once did he mention bringing Muslim values, bringing the Sharia law. Not once did he mention it. I understand the human nature to say, you know what, why the fuck do we elect a Muslim? This is a Christian country. This is a Christian city. Why do we elect a Muslim? He's going to bring in Sharia law, Muslim values. But if I'm being honest, if I'm being fair on both sides, not once did Zoran Mamdani mention that. I understand he's Muslim. That doesn't mean that he's an extremist Muslim. I'm a Christian. I'm not an extremist Christian. I believe in the right for women to have abortions and many other laws and rights that the extremist Christians don't believe in. Even though I'm a Christian, I don't believe in that. So maybe this goes the same for Zoran Mamdani. Now, of course, I'm more on the capitalist side and less on the socialist Democrat side. So that's why maybe I wouldn't have voted for him. I probably would have voted for Cuomo, but I'm not a New Yorker, so who gives a fuck? But to be fair on both sides, he never spoke about bringing Sharia law, and he never spoke about making New York City a Muslim city with Muslim values and bringing Muslim values and tradition into New York laws. He never spoke about it. So if you're someone who said, New York's going to the gutter, it's going to be like an Islamic city, you cannot say that, because Zoran Mamdani in his speech never spoke about it. Maybe deep down in his mind, maybe deep down in his soul, he would love for that to happen. But who knows what are his real thoughts? I have to take him at face value. I have to take him for what he said, what actually came out of his mouth. That's the only thing that matters. And not once did he talk about Islamic revolution, bringing wild Islamists, bringing Sharia law, whatever. Not once did he. But at the same time, bro, if I'm being honest, I don't know why, but I hate his personality, man. I feel like he's a woke. And that's why I hate him. Not that I hate him, but that's why I wouldn't have voted for him, because I feel like he's really woke. And I hate people that are woke. And I saw many videos of him like saying, and I'm quoting him, he was like, when I asked you to stop sending me money, well, you can keep going. Please give me a donation, give me this. He asks for money while he's saying that he's going to make other things free and more affordable for the average New Yorker, but then he goes and asks you for money. And the way he asks it like this, he keeps smiling. Why the fuck he keeps having this smile? I don't know if someone told me that smile will bring you more votes. I don't know, but he keeps making the same fucking smile that busts my fucking balls. I know it has nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with competency, but hey, I'm a human being. And when I see him make that smile, I'm like, you're just a fucking wokey motherfucker, if I'm being honest. But so I'm being fair on both sides. it is what it is. He then went on to say, Zoran Mamdani, I'm quoting him, New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant. Was New York City really built by immigrants? It was built by settlers. There's a difference between settlers and immigrants. A settler is someone who came from New York. The settlers that were there were from Holland. They came from Holland and they actually founded and built New York City. A settler in the 1700s, when they came to build New York City, it isn't the same equivalent as an immigrant who's coming from Serbia in 2025 in New York City. Of course, he can help the city with being a valuable member, a valuable citizen, making the economy roll and whatever, but it's not the same equivalent as a settler in the 1700s when the Dutch came to New York City and they created New York City, quote unquote, and also with the English people who came to New York City. There's a big difference between settlers and immigrants. And not all immigrants, and I'm saying this as a son of immigrants, not all immigrants contribute to the best of a society. Mostly do. Most immigrants, when they go to a new country, is because they want new opportunities. They want a better life for them and for their children. So they're very good citizens. But there is a minority who don't contribute well to the society. So that's the difference between an immigrant and a settler. It's not the equivalent. So to say that's a city built by immigrants, quote unquote, yes, quote unquote, no. Powered by immigrants, I guess you can say that. That's fair. I guess like New York City isn't like, let's say, Kansas City. There's way more immigrants in New York City. That's true, but it's like powered by both, like it or not. Americans built that city. Americans made that city beautiful. But yes, when immigrants come there, most of them, they contribute well to society. So powered by immigrants, sure, why not? And as of tonight, led by an immigrant. Now, I heard many different podcasters in America, like Megyn Kelly, Patrick Bet-David, very, very big podcasters and very, very respected people, talk about Zoran Mamdani and talk against him. And many of them have mixed feelings of a Muslim being in power in an American city, which is an American nation, which is a Christian nation, quote unquote. It's a secular nation, of course. There's no religion, but America was founded on Judeo-Christian values. So I understand that. So Patrick Bet-David feels like Muslims shouldn't be allowed to hold power in America. And so does Megyn Kelly feel the same. I'm like half. I'm like in the middle. Again, like I said, when it comes to politics, I'm mostly in the middle. I understand America being a Christian nation. I understand most of them being Christian. And like it or not, they would love for a Christian to represent them. I understand that's completely normal, having that feeling. Just as much as if me as a white Christianer was to go to, let's say, Saudi Arabia and to try to be a mayor over there or to try to be a politician, it will never happen. Why? Even if I'm the smartest individual, even if I'm the most competent individual, even if I come up with the smartest ideas, they still wouldn't let me, I still wouldn't win because I'm white and because I'm a Christian. I understand that fact. Same goes for if I was to go in Congo as a white Christian male, I would never win there. Why? Even like I said, even if I'm the smartest individual, the most competent individual, they still wouldn't vote for me because I'm white, because I'm Christian. That plays a big part in politics. It plays a lesser, bigger part in the Western world because in a way we're above that, in a way, than in other countries. In third world countries, they care more about that image than we in the Western world. We're more open-minded and we're more tolerant towards differences and towards different people. But I can speak from experience. If there was to be a black Muslim to go to Serbia and try to become president over there, it would never fucking happen. I don't give a fuck. It would never ever happen. No matter how smart he is, no matter how competent he is, no Serbian would vote for that motherfucker. No one would. Why? Because he's black and because he's Muslim. And Serbia being a white and Christian nation. So I understand Megyn Kelly and Patrick Bet-David saying that Muslims shouldn't have the right to hold positions in America, political positions. But at the same time, I'm like, if he's not an extremist, if he's simply a Muslim on paper and he simply keeps that to himself, and he's actually a very competent and very smart individual, why not? I mean, if he can make our society better and all of our lives better, why not? Like, right, why not? If he's that type of Muslim. Now, if he's an extremist Muslim, then of course, like, forget about it. There should never be Sharia law or whatever. But if he's just like a normal Muslim, just like I'm a normal Christian, I would never bring my religion into politics. If I was to go into politics, I would never bring my religion into politics, because I know deep down politics and religion should never mix. It mixed before in the past and it never worked out well. Never, ever. But if there's a Muslim feels the same, who thinks the same as I do, and he's simply a Muslim on paper, but he will never mix Islam religion with politics, and he's simply a very smart and competent individual who simply wants to contribute to American society, make America a better place, make Canada a better place, and make all of our lives better, then why not? Like, I don't know, I'm like half-half on this. I'm like, I understand Megyn Kelly and Patrick Bet-David and many other people believing that Muslims shouldn't have the right to hold positions of power in North America, but I also understand people who don't think the same way and who think that they should have the right and they should have the potential to hold positions of power in political seats in North America, in the Western world. So I'm like half-half. I don't know, man. But I just want to say that I understand both sides, and both sides make a valid point, in my opinion. Trump went on to say on Twitter, Trump wasn't on the ballot and shutdown were the two reasons that Republicans lost elections tonight. Talking about the NYC elections. 50 Cent, who is a New York native, he was born in Queens, raised in Queens. He posted on Instagram a picture, simply this picture. I don't even have to explain it. Simply by seeing it, you're going to understand what he means. By seeing this picture, you understand that 50 Cent wasn't too happy about Zohran Mamdani winning the elections. He posted a picture of a tombstone with RIP NYC written on it, founded 1624, died in 2025. He didn't say anything more. Maybe it's simply because, I think that it's because 50 Cent is very wealthy, he's very rich, and he doesn't want to get taxed so much, so that's why he said RIP NYC. And also I saw that ever since Zohran Mamdani got elected, many people put their houses for sale because they're looking to go live in Florida or in Texas where there's way less taxes. But hey, it is what it is. Piers Morgan had his take regarding Mamdani becoming NYC mayor. He said, this is going to be absolutely priceless to watch. Mamdani has never run anything. He's in his 30s with zero experience. He's a brilliant politician, a promiser of great things to come. But the problem is he will not be able to deliver on any of his promises. Socialism does not work. It's never going to work. So he's going to start letting down people very quickly. It will become a referendum on the Democrats. That's also something I heard. I heard that Zohran Mamdani is like 34. He's 34 years old. He never held a real job before this job that he's going to be holding the 1st of January. He never held a real job. He comes from rich parents. His dad was a professor at Columbia. His mom was a filmmaker or a director, something of that. She worked in film. He was like a wannabe rapper before Zohran Mamdani. So I heard that he never held a real job. He's really young for a politician. 34 years old is really, really young for a politician. He has zero experience. And I also agree with what Piers Morgan said, that socialism does not work. My parents come from Yugoslavia. That was a socialist country. It didn't work there. It didn't work in Russia. It didn't work in the Eastern Bloc of Europe. Socialism doesn't work. Why? It's because of human nature. It doesn't work. At the end of the day, every single individual human being only cares to a certain degree about himself, about his dreams, about what he's going to have on his plate, about himself. That's normal. So that's why socialism does not work. Nowadays, with the human brain, with a human ego, it doesn't work. Maybe in tens of thousands of years in the future, when we're going to be less egoistic and more community-driven, maybe then it will work. But then that's a question for the ages. Who knows what's going to happen in 10,000 years from now as human nature? Who knows what's going to happen? But for now, and for the near future, for the next hundreds of years, socialism isn't going to work. And we have proof. It's not only like it was written on paper and then we read about it and then we're like, it's not going to work. We actually have past proof of it not working. So socialism does not work. I agree. Right now, capitalism is by far the best system that we have. And if we look at proof, if we look at actually real practical evidence, socialism is a system, socialism. Capitalism is a system that works by far the best. We have many proof. America, capitalist country. The entire Western world is capitalist. And the Western world is the part of the world that flourishes the most, that has the best results in the world. So that's why capitalism is the best system we have right now currently for human nature and for human ego. Okay, Aljamain Sterling, a big MMA fighter, he wrote on X regarding Zohran Mamdani being nominated. He said, London stan, please meet New York and stan. It seems people aren't paying attention to what's going on, and I literally barely pay attention to what's going on, and I can see this coming from miles away. He then went on to say on Twitter also, it seems people are mad at my stan, add to London and NY. Not sure why, pointing out the truth offends people. The city will shift. That is my belief. Hopefully I'm wrong. I was born and raised in Long Island, New York, and I hate to see it run down further like the once great London. If you don't see the comparison, cool, time will tell. He then also went on to say, why do I have to hate a religion or culture to have the stance on a state I grew up in? There's no correlation. I have Muslim friends, and if we discuss this, my stance would be the same. Just like I'm pretty sure we don't have Christians in power in the UAE or any Muslim first country. And that should be understandable. So that's why, like I said, I understand Patrick Bet-David, Megyn Kelly, and many other public speakers having that opinion that Muslims shouldn't hold positions of power in Christian nations. But I also understand people saying, you know what, let's see above religion. Let's go above that and see if that person, if that specific individual is actually competent for the job, is actually made for the job. So I understand that. But at the same time, like, it's the middle of both. So hey, we're going to see. We're going to see what's going to happen. And only time will tell. Okay, so guys, Toronto City Hall will fly the Palestinian flag for the first time next week. I'm all against this. Why? Not because I'm against the Palestinian nation. I don't give a fuck. Good for them. As long as there's peace, I'm happy. As long as little kids aren't dying, as long as innocent civilians aren't dying, I'm happy and I'm relieved. But why are we only flying a Palestinian flag? Like, in my opinion, the only flag that should be flown in Canada is the Canadian flag. No other flag should be flown in Canada. Not the Serbian flag, not the Ukrainian flag, not the Palestinian flag, no African flag. Only the Canadian flag should be flown in Canadian soil, on Canadian soil. Only the Canadian flag. I understand people saying, yeah, but everything they went through, we want to show that we're behind them. Okay, perfect. If we go the same logic, what about all the countries in Africa that are currently still facing war and who are still currently in a civil war? Congo right now, for the past 20 years, they've been in a civil war. Many little kids are dying in Africa. Ever since humanity exists, ever since history exists, Africans are the ones who suffered the most. Even to this day, they're the ones who suffered the most. With hunger, with wars, with everything, with economic instability, with just everything, political instability, with everything in general. Africa is the nation, is the continent on planet Earth that suffers the most. No one talks about it. No one gives a fuck. We only hear about Ukraine war and the Palestinian-Israel war. We don't talk about the millions, not millions, but thousands of innocent civilians and thousands of children dying every single day in Africa. We don't hear about it. Why don't we talk about that? So I understand everything that happened in Palestine and Israel is really sad. Whenever there's a war, both sides are at fault. There should never be war. It's really, really sad. I understand that. But it's not the only place that sad things are happening. The entirety of Africa is in shambles. Haiti right now is in shambles. Haiti right now is currently, they have no government. It's run by this guy named Barbecue. That's his nickname. He's like a war criminal. He's pillaging, he's raping, he's killing. He's damaging the Haitian population. He's damaging the country, and no one talks about it. So like I said, my opinion regarding this is that the only flag that should be flown on Canadian soil is the Canadian flag. In Canada, it's Canada first. Never are you going to see a Canadian flag being flown in Saudi Arabia or in Algeria. It's never going to happen. So the same should go for our way. It shouldn't happen. The only flag that should be flown on Canadian soil is the Canadian flag. That's it. Olympics set to ban all transgender athletes from female events for Los Angeles 2028. Thank you. Thank you. Now, like I said, I don't have anything against transgender people. I don't care. If you're born a man and you want to become a woman, that's your personal life. You do you. You have the freedom and the liberty to do whatever you want with your body and with your identity. Cool. But when it comes to sports, transgender females shouldn't be allowed to play with females. Why? Yes, okay, I understand that you're a transgender female and you feel like a female, but your muscles, your genetics aren't female. They're male. And this isn't my opinion. This is simply science-based and facts. You're born a man, so you have more testosterone than a woman. Your muscles are stronger and faster than a woman. You're more developed as an athlete than the average woman. So you shouldn't be competing with women because it's simply unfair. It's not fair. That's the only reason why. But if you want to be a woman in your personal life, hey, I don't care what you do. That's your life. That's your body, your choice. You do what you want. But you cannot compete with females, with real biological females. Why? It's because if we're talking about biology, you're a biological man. Now you can identify as a woman, even though in my opinion, I mean, just because you think you're a woman doesn't mean you're a woman. In my opinion, if you're born a man, you're a man. If you're born a woman, you're a woman. For the rest of your lives, there's nothing you can do. It is what it is. Just as much as if you're born black, you're black. If you're born white, you're white. If you're born brown, you're brown. You cannot fucking choose your race just as much as you cannot choose your gender, your sex. You're born that way, it is what it is. Just as much as you cannot choose where you're born, it is what it is. There are some things in life we cannot choose and we just have to deal with it. That's my opinion. But this is more specifically when it comes to sports. When it comes to sports, transgender women should not have the right to compete with biological women. Why? It's because of purely genetics. This is science-based. A biological man in general, and a vast general, is way faster, way stronger, better coordination, better balance, can jump higher, can run longer, is just physically superior to the average woman. Now, sexists, feminists, don't come after me. I'm not saying that all men are stronger and faster and better physically than all women, but in average, 99% of men are in better shape, are faster, are stronger, are just physically superior to 99% of women. That's a fact. But there is a 1% of women who are stronger than some percent of men, but 99% of men are stronger and are physically superior to 99% of women. And that's why transgender females should not have the right to compete with biological females. Okay, guys. So no, actually, I'm gonna finish it here. No, should I keep going? Fuck it, I'm gonna finish it here. That was it, guys, for today. See you next time. Peace out.